Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. The news broke yesterday, the news that we all feared, the news that, we knew was coming about Gabriel Jesus. He's torn his ACL. I feel so sorry for this guy. Yet another injury for him, yet another serious injury in his career. And he is set to be out for at least 9 months. At least 9 months. It really is a terrible injury when you tear your ACL. It's not one of those you can rush back from. It's one of those that take a lot of healing. We're going to be speaking to the doctor so that he can give us a complete rundown on what an ACL injury exactly is. But I can tell you, it's not good. And Gabriel Jesus is out for the whole season, which then heightens the whole fact that we need to get a striker in. If Mikel Arteta's turn around and say, all right, well, we've got solutions and that, we don't now, because one of them solutions is gone. No Saka, no Jesus, probably both of them for the rest of the season. We must go out into the January transfer window and bring in attacking players. Now, one of those attacking players I spoke a lot about yesterday, still being spoken a lot about today, is Dusan Vlahovic of Juventus. There's been lots of rumours linking us with a move for him. I remember yesterday I spoke about how Football Transfers came in an exclusive where they say that Arsenal put in a loan bid for Dusan Vlahovic last week, but that was rejected by Juventus. Now, it's really interesting yesterday that Juventus, they had a massive game against Atalanta in which they drew 1-1, and Vlahovic was not even in the squad, left out completely, which immediately had everybody thinking, what's going on? Is he on the move? Also adding to that, the fact that it looks like almost certain that Randall Kolo Muani is joining Juventus. We're being told that everything's been agreed. They've agreed to cover all of his wages from now, which are high wages, from now till the end of the season, that they're taking him on loan. 18 months left on Dusan Vlahovic's contract. The manager of Juventus yesterday, Thiago Motta, inevitably being asked about the future of Dusan Vlahovic. He didn't really want to discuss it. He said, I don't discuss transfers. And he claimed that the reason why Vlahovic would have been left out of the team is because he's feeling unwell, may even be unwell, he said, for the weekend's clash. I think they got AC Milan. So could this signal a move for Dusan Vlahovic away from Juventus to Arsenal? I know that David Ornstein was sort of playing it down yesterday. He was saying that he hasn't really heard nothing much about a move and he feels it's unlikely Arsenal will go and buy him in January, but I don't think you can rule this one out yet. It's still a little way to go in this transfer window. He's got 18 months left on his contract. Arsenal could push for a loan for him, and with Kolo Muani coming into Juventus, would they be up for that? There's still a lot to go, long way left to go on this one, and as I said, his contract's up in 18 months. Gabriel Jesus out injured. Arsenal may push this one forward. There's a lot of train of thought saying with Arsenal that they don't want to go out there and lay out on a striker because they're waiting to the summer to get Alexander Isak. And this is a really interesting one, and one I'd like to put out there to you guys today. And I'd love to see what you guys are saying about this in the comments. Do Arsenal go now and get, say, a Dusan Vlahovic? Which then means if you get in a Dusan Vlahovic, that probably means the likelihood of bringing in an Alexander Isak is over because you would have laid out big money on a Dusan Vlahovic. Or do they wait? Do they wait, maybe try and get a little cheaper option loan or something, and then go for Alexander Isak in the summer? That's a risk, by the way. Wait until the summer. What if Newcastle have an outstanding season? They got a chance of going to the top 4 tonight. What if they have an outstanding season, get into the Champions League and are able to persuade him to stay? What if some other big club comes in? Well, I'm sure other big clubs are going to come in for Alexander Isak. We've already been told that Barcelona are very, very interested in signing him. Of course, Robert Lewandowski is getting into the twilight of his career. It's a big risk to wait on Alexander Isak, because you may not get him. And then the other thing is, we need a striker now because we've got nobody. We've literally got a makeshift striker in Kai Havertz. We weren't brought into the team as a striker. Our striker, our number 9, is not going to be out for 9 months. So what would you do? I would love to hear from you. Now, I'm sure you all heard yesterday that Arsenal, about Martin Zubimendi. Now, it broke as the journalist Sammy Mockbell with a real exclusive here. Everybody else piled in afterwards, but he was the one who came with it first. That Arsenal on the verge of sealing a deal for Martin Zubimendi. Been a long time target of Arsenal. Looked like last season he was on his way to Liverpool. Liverpool fans were jumping up and down saying they've got this deal done, only for him to turn around and do what Nico Williams did and say, listen, I ain't going nowhere. I've decided to stay at Real Sociedad. However, this news broke yesterday that Arsenal are in advanced talks with Martin Zubimendi. There's a lot of talk today that personal terms have been agreed. It's going to be a fee of around about £50 million. That's his release clause, a summer release clause of £51 million. But we've been told that Arsenal may even say to Real Sociedad, listen, we'll pay you a bit more, right, than the £51 million. However, we want to stagger the payments, because the thing is with some of these release clauses is that you have to pay the money all up front straight away. And a lot of clubs don't like doing that, because when you do that, that shows on your balance sheet straight away with all these PSR rules and stuff like that. Clubs do not like to have to pay all that money up front. So Martin Zubimendi looks like it could be a deal that could be done for the summer. It'd be a massive coup for Arsenal because, again, he's a player that a lot of teams are after. I just spoke about Liverpool. Real Madrid are another team that have been very, very interested in signing him. So I can understand. I had some fans yesterday absolutely losing it with me saying, why? I don't want to hear about Zubimendi. Why are we getting Zubimendi? We need a striker. I'm with you. We do need a striker, but it makes sense to secure a deal like this in advance as well, because he's a top quality player. Jorginho is going to be gone. We already know that clubs like Flamengo, Palmeiras, all chatting to him. His contract's up in the summer. Thomas Partey, his contract's up in the summer. He's going to be leaving as well. Makes sense to go and seal a deal for Martin Zubimendi for the summer. He's going to leave in January, and it makes perfect sense. But I hear you guys, when you're talking about strikers, you don't even really want to hear nothing about a defensive midfielder. You want to hear about strikers. And we're not hearing nothing about that. But Zubimendi set to join Arsenal in the summer, and looks like all of that is going well. Excuse me. And that would be a big coup for Arsenal. Now, there's going to be a lot of players leaving Arsenal, especially this summer. As I just named out 2 of them there. Zinchenko is another player that I was thinking to myself, come the summer, Arsenal going to be looking to move him on, but it looks like he could go this January. Borussia Dortmund really interested in signing Oleg Zinchenko. They are apparently willing to pay around about 20 million euros, which is around 18.6 million pounds. Listen, he's fallen behind Calafiori. He's fallen behind Miles Lewis-Skelly in the pecking order for that left-back position. And then don't forget, you got players like even Urian Timber who can play on that left-hand side. How is he going to get into the team on a regular basis? He's fallen down that pecking order. Even Tomiyasu can play over on that left and has sometimes played on that left ahead of him. I think his problems are defensively, when you're coming up against really, really top wingers, which most teams in the Premier League have, he's been found a bit wanting in the defensive area. We all know about his ability going forward, but it's defensively where the problem's been. So it looks like Arsenal willing to sell him. Dortmund have got a bit of money knocking around. They've just sold Daniel Marlin, former Arsenal youth player. They just sold him for £22 million to Aston Villa. And now they're looking like they might move for Alexander Zinchenko this month. Actually, Arsenal probably wouldn't even mind that. Get that money in, and they can use that towards, either a striker or a forward player, which they desperately need. But let's wait and see how that one develops out. So those are the rumours for today. Of course, big North London derby tonight. Arsenal, actually, this is why get into that transfer market and bring in a couple of big players, because if Arsenal were to win the game tonight, they'd go within 4 points of Liverpool, even though Liverpool have got a game in hand. Lots to play for still in this league, but the squad needs strengthening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.